Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be a client's tarot reading. This will be the one question tarot reading. I have a couple decks here on the table. I haven't decided yet which I'm going to work with, but what I did want to do is light some sage to cleanse the space. Just cleansing the space because I'm allowed to and I can. I'm really enjoying having the home to myself. My family comes back from vacation on Saturday, so unfortunately I won't be able to light incense as much as I have been lately, so that's kind of a bummer, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is. And the dogs are howling. I swear, it was so quiet, and then as soon as I turn on the camera, it's like everybody wants to talk. Okay, hopefully that's the end of that. I think I'm gonna definitely work with the Vertigo Tarot. So this was one of the decks that I had pulled out to work with for the month of November. So the Vertigo Tarot, definitely. And I'm also feeling, because I was reading your question that you submitted in email, and I was really feeling the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. So I was totally feeling called to use that as well. I was like seeing that in my mind. So I'm going to pull that. And then just for kicks, I'm also going to pull a card from the Witchbone Astrology Oracle. I'm actually studying astrology right now, so this will be good for me to kind of practice, but also the deck, luckily it comes with a little, it doesn't come with a guidebook, but it does come with a card that gives like a little keyword to kind of help you with the message. So I'll be utilizing that because I really want to incorporate astrology more in my readings. Once I get the better hang of astrology, that will become a whole nother service that I'm going to provide. But in the meantime, we'll just make do with what we have. Gotta have some water. Okay, so is everything focused, I hope? I just want to make sure that you can see everything. Oh, there we go. That's better. You can see the table better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle and then begin. But basically, my client's question revolves around career and like their life purpose. So they asked in their email, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a little personal, but basically my client has been working at the same company for about 2 years. And they are, even though they enjoy what they do, they have this like gut feeling that there's something more that they are supposed to be doing with their life. And so they wanted to know what their purpose it revolves around. And they also have a very intuitive, just kind of like an intuitive hunch that what they are meant to do revolves around like a psychic, like a path of utilizing your psychic strengths, basically, that's how I'll put it. So some sort of a holistic path I'm feeling. So we're going to see kind of like what the cards are going to say. Now, now that you guys know my spooky readings, actually, I'm going to set this aside just for the heck of it. My spooky readings are no longer available. Everything is now back to the regular rates and regular readings. So this is a one question tarot reading. And the way that I do my tarot readings, I don't really work with a spread unless I feel called to. So everything is pulled intuitively, meaning I just pull the cards and I go with it. So this one wanted to pop out. I'm going to put that at the top so I'll remember to pull it. And we will just see. We'll just see what comes out with the cards regarding your path. Anytime like you get this feeling, and this is for my client or anyone who's watching, anytime you get this feeling like you're just meant to do something in particular, always trust those gut instincts, because that's like your higher self giving you a hint. telling you, guiding you, showing you the way. You wouldn't have that feeling if it wasn't true. So by all means, trust that. And it's a good thing that you're trusting it and you're paying attention to that and you're calling yourself out on it, because that's going to most likely pay off later on in the long run. When you follow your heart, you know, you're going to be happy, you're going to be successful and all that kind of stuff. So let's see what we got. So we have the Devil crossed with the Queen of Cups, the Lovers, and Judgment. Oh, so you got lots of heavy cards. And by heavy, I mean major arcana cards. So the Seven of Wands, the Two of Wands, and then the Hermit. The card that wanted to pop out earlier, Patience, Transition, Grace. I like to pull in threes, so Pisces. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's get started. I want to make sure you can see everything. Okay, so right off the bat, what I'm seeing from the two cards that I pulled, the main energy of who you are, your question, is the Devil, and then the crossed with the Queen of Cups. So this is really interesting. The Devil card coming up for you as your main energy, the energy of your question, is telling me what you feel that you are presently doing in life is actually more of a feeling of being chained down. And the feeling of being kind of held back. You don't want to admit to it, but it kind of is starting to look that way. I feel like you are a very optimistic person, so you like to see the positives in everything, even if a certain situation isn't turning out quite the way you had expected or how you had hoped. But you will still try your best to look for the positives in every situation. But the Devil card is revealing to me that this particular path that you're on with this particular company is going to end up turning into that route of you feeling more like you are chained down, that there is less chance for you to really escape or free yourself from the grasp of this company or the grasp of this position that you are in, the deeper that you go. And I feel like that's why your intuition, which is what is blocking you. The Queen of Cups is all about intuition. She's a very intuitive queen. She's a water sign, a water card, and very intuitive, very psychic, very like a healer in a sense, okay? And to be blocked by that, it's kind of like, no matter what you try to do, like let's say you were trying to stay within this path, within this company, I'm seeing the fire in the Devil, so fire symbol, so fire energy. But then with the Queen of Cups, I'm seeing water. And water puts out fire, okay? And I'm feeling like as her being a block, it's no matter what, if you were to try to stay on the realistic path because this position is bringing in the money, your need, your desire to go on a different route will always be there. It will always cross paths with you. It's almost like you can't escape it. So that's what I'm kind of seeing with that. The other thing I want to take note is you're kind of being crossed. It's like your reality, your rational state of mind versus your more intuitive side. Because the Queen of Cups is a very, like I said, intuitive individual. She's psychic. She is all about, you know, tapping into her abilities and trusting. And she's a healer. She's all of that. Being crossed with those desires. Now, for you, I'm feeling the path of jumping into some sort of a psychic path or some sort of like a healer path. It's something that is going to progress in the future, but it's not going to be something that you should jump into wholeheartedly and 2 feet first. Okay. I definitely feel like this is something that is going to progress. It is definitely a part of you. Okay. But it is also something that you have to kind of learn to juggle evenly with the present job. because I'm seeing the chains, but I'm not seeing it so much as a super negative right now. For sure right now, it's the job that you're in is stable and it is something that is providing. Eventually, it'll probably get to the point where you're going to be so tired of it, and you're going to feel like you are, I'm hoping that the lighting isn't so bad. Sorry, the windows are open. I should probably close the blinds. I feel like right now it's fine. Like there's nothing to worry about as far as this position goes, this path. But eventually those chains are going to get tighter. The chains are going to get heavier, and you're going to really feel the desire to free yourself from it. So right now I'm not seeing it as anything alarming or bad, but I do feel like no matter what, if you don't attempt to tap into your other calling, which is more of a psychic sense, this is always going to bother you. It's always going to cross paths with you. It's always going to be like that idea, that feeling, that thought, that wish that's going to keep coming up over and over again until you finally do something about it. Let me close the blinds because this light is bugging me now. Turn on this one. Sorry. My room, the window in my room faces the sun. Like when it sets, the sun sets right into the room. So it's, as much as it is a beautiful sight, it's it's a little annoying on the camera. Okay, so definitely I feel like you're gonna have that you have that calling to do something psychic. Whether it is becoming a reader, it's getting involved in Reiki healing, it's being doing meditation or hosting a class or something along those lines. But it is a path that you're going to have to develop. Okay, it's not something that you should jump right into. It's something that you would do side by side with your present job to ensure that you are still financially stable until you feel like you can cut the cords and move on. Okay. And take that from me, from experience, because I am still in that transition myself, where I was juggling the Cackling Moon on the side of having a full-time job. And then I was able to cut from full-time to part-time hours, because I was able to make more sales, but it's still not enough money to be looked at as a full-blown full-time job. So I'm still in that transition. So it does take time, and for me it's been about 3.5 years. So it does take time. It's possible for sure, but you have to be wise about it too. Okay, so in the past with the Lovers card, now I'm not going to be going into like the love reading type. I'm seeing the Lovers more as in the past, like you've always made yourself available to other people. You've always made yourself a kind of like that anchor for other people in the workplace, people in your personal life. You've always done the deeds of being that stable anchor for other people. A lot of people in the workplace can trust you and count on you to get the job done. They can count on you to show up to work every day. They can count on you to be professional, that kind of thing. So I'm seeing that exchange there. But I'm also feeling like there's an energetic exchange that you can give to others. The Lovers is telling me that you have that personality type where other people can feel very trusting of you, that people can come to you and feel comfortable. And that's a really good quality to have, especially if you were thinking of going the route of becoming some sort of a healer, a psychic, a spiritual advisor, that kind of thing. Because you want people to be able to look at you and come to you when they need your help and your assistance. So that's a plus. Think of that as a plus. I see that as like, this is what has your back. Okay. What is in front of you or in the future? We have the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card usually comes up when you are being called, when you're being tapped on that shoulder by spirit, or there's a spiritual calling, there's a higher calling for you. It's like you're being lifted up. As you can see, the image here, it's like the little baby is being lifted up, almost like a sacrifice. So I feel like for you in the future, there will be that point where you will feel lifted, risen up, where you will feel maybe this is your spiritual awakening, a second awakening perhaps. Maybe this is your abilities really starting to grow and to become something more than what they are right now. This could be your ability to rise up into the next level and the next phase of yourself spiritually and psychically. It could be a lot of different things, but I definitely see it as a plus. I see it as moving up. So I'm feeling like the fact that the baby is being lifted up, to me, that's symbolizing you taking the next level, going the next step. But again, it's going to take time. I'm getting from the card number being 20, this is over a year, okay? Because 20 months would be a little over a year and a half. So I'm feeling like the process of this actually taking place will be not anytime soon. This will be within another year or so. But the only way that this is going to start transpiring is if you start tapping in, and if you start allowing yourself to really connect with your higher self and with your inner psychic abilities, and working with that and going that route, you know, taking on a second hobby or a second job aligned with that kind of work that you want to do. Practice makes perfect, okay? Without practice and without really doing anything active, physically active towards a goal like this, it's not going to happen. That's just the truth. You have to physically be doing something about the path to make it work. So if you are doubting your ability to do so, then just know the cards are revealing, yes, you are. You can do it. The cards are definitely showing you having intuitive psychic abilities. We all do, but you have it in you to really draw it out if you truly want to. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take work. And it's also going to be the need to kind of work side by side with your present job. It is not something that you should completely quit one job for the other. You're not there yet. You will be there, but you're not there yet. So don't go and do anything too crazy just yet. Okay, so below, what's below, this is like, I was pulling cards. I wanted to pull cards for like advice. So what I'm seeing is the Seven of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Hermit card. The Seven of Wands to me is like reawakening the mindset. Just the image of this card in itself really is screaming at me. This person's mind is being cut open. There's so much happening. There's a candle lit. I mean, I'm seeing it as a candle. I'm seeing it as a candle being lit, but it's kind of like that inspiration just sparked, you know? And I feel like that is your crown chakra being ignited. That is you tapping in and working with your abilities. It's a 7 card, so this could signify perhaps, what is it, next year? 7 is July, so summertime. Perhaps that might be a time where you'll start really seeing everything come together, which would make sense. That's almost a year from now, so that 20 that I was seeing, or, you know, that a little over a year and a half, that's when maybe this stuff is starting to take place. So summer next year, maybe you'll be enrolling in some sort of a psychic course, an online course, or if there are metaphysical shops in your location, I highly recommend attending the shops and seeing if they have classes that you could take. I took a psychic development class and it was so helpful. It was very helpful. Be ready to put money into it. But it's very helpful, and it's nice to be around people who are also doing the same thing, because you will learn from them and you'll meet new people too. The Two of Wands in the middle at the core, this one's really making me feel like you're going to be hitting a point where you're going to be making a decision. This is the fork in the road, because it's a 2, and I'm just seeing it as a fork in the road. I'm seeing it as, are you going to go with it, or are you going to stay behind? I see, like with the wand, this is a wand card too. See how I was saying like it was like a candle going off, like being lit. This one, you see that same thing, like the candle. Like it's not a candle, but that's how I'm seeing it. You see the candle being lit, and right here it looks like the candle's being dropped in water, almost as if you're putting the flame out. So I'm reading this as your fork in the road. Are you going to completely ignite your passions, or are you going to put it out and stay in that devil energy, in that same job? That's going to be that moment. It's going to be a fork in the road moment for you. And this will be the deciding factor. This will be when you have to make up your mind. Okay? Now, it's really interesting because when I said with the 20, how this is making me feel like a year and a half from now, a 2 would be February, not this February, but February in 2019. Sounds like a long ways away, but it's just about, it will be about 6, let me see, we're in November, it would be about a year and 3 months. Am I doing the math correctly? So almost a year and a half, February 2019. So perhaps that fork in the road, you having to decide, making the ultimate decision of going forward with the psychic path or not, the healer path, whatever path you choose to take, or staying in the same predicament as where you're at, whether it's still this job or a different job, may be February in 2019. Okay? Now, I love to do predictions, but I also hate to do predictions because I'm human. I can be wrong. And then also when you're predicting in the future, things change. You might even embark on the psychic path and not like it. So things can change, but this is just me saying right now, just based on how I'm reading the cards, how I'm seeing it. That's how I'm seeing it. So 2019 could be a really big year for you. If everything works out. Now, the Hermit card is coming up, and that's what is also really interesting to me too, because the Hermit is, to me, telling me soulpreneur or working solo. You see what I'm saying? Like, a hermit is solo, and I feel like for you, in your line of work, if you are going the route of psychic, you will be working alone. You will be your own boss, that kind of thing. So just what I'm saying. It looks like it would, it looks like it would go that route. So then I pulled oracle cards for you, and the patience card was the one that really wanted to come out. This is the one that fell out when I was shuffling. Excuse me. And I think that the patience card is guiding you, obviously, be patient in this path. Be patient in the abilities, okay? It's not easy to trust and to bring out our psychic abilities. We have to work on it. It takes time. The whole process of becoming our own boss, having the clients, having the exposure so people know who we are, it all takes time. So patience is going to be a major lesson for you in this path. I also pulled the transition card, which is so cool because transition is revealing definitely you're transitioning from the day job, so to speak, fire to water, the transition of the day job to working for yourself in the realm of psychic or intuitiveness to, you know, being a healer or a reader or, you know, there's so many different avenues that you can take, but I want you to explore that yourself because, I can say reader because that's what I do, but there's so many other avenues that you can go. And I really want you to explore that yourself because you may have completely different interests than what I have. So I'm not going to put my influence on that. You will find your path when you embark on these, you know, going to these crystal shops and attending these classes and talking to people. You're going to see other avenues that you can take. So I really want you to kind of explore that yourself. And then finally, I pulled the Grace card. I feel like the Grace card is revealing the transition and the whole energy of this changing for you. It's going to be grace. It's going to feel like it's meant to be. When you are on a path that feels like you don't have to work hard for it, that everything just it goes smoothly, everything is like falling in your lap, that is how you know you are on your purpose. And it's a big message for me. This is a big message for me personally, because I'm not feeling like that right now. So to me, it's like I have to stop fighting. I have to stop fighting to make things happen, and I have to trust that everything will happen as they're meant to. So keep that in mind when you are in the transition phase of maybe one job to the next, changing paths, that fork in the road that we talked about earlier. The grace card is telling me it's like a reminder for you. It will move smoothly, and it'll feel smooth. It'll feel right. So trust that. And then finally, I pulled from the astrology oracle, I pulled the Pisces card. And I love it because the Pisces card is the most psychic sign in the zodiac. And the Pisces, we because I'm a Pisces, we pretty much have every single trait of all of the other 11 zodiacs as ourselves. So we are known as chameleons. We can really mingle with just about any person, get along with everybody. We can mold ourselves to really communicate with people. So that's why I feel like my business, being a reader, has been successful, because I can communicate with people in that way. We click. But also the psychic card is the Pisces card is definitely a symbol for you for psychic. Just for kicks, the card that comes with the deck, Pisces says it's a water sign and it's creativity. So I feel like also the message of creativity for you is don't put yourself in a box, and dare to be creative and dare to think outside the box when it comes to work, when it comes to your abilities, when it comes to you being your own boss and doing your own thing. But like I said, I'm not going to influence you as to what kind of psychic work you should do, because there's so many different things you can do. I want you to discover that for yourself. That is a path that you will choose and that you will follow as it finds you or as you find it. It's a beautiful discovery. I really want you to experience that for yourself, because that's what happened to me. You know, the cards came into my life at a really hard time for me, and I've never looked back since, and it's been about 5 years. So trust yourself. Everything is going to come in around you. Synchronicities will happen, and everything with grace. Everything will feel like it flows. So trust that, my love. Basically to answer your question as far as, the purpose and how to obtain it, juggle the two. Don't quit your day job. Start jumping into interests that you have that are around the psychic. Go to a metaphysical store, see if they have classes that you can take. Attend meditation classes, or start meditating privately with yourself. Read a book. There's a lot of really good psychic books out there. Go to Barnes & Noble. There's so many. Find one that calls to you and just start diving into the path. Because once you start to dabble, things start popping up. Synchronicity, it just happens. And I really am excited because I know I know that it happens, and I know how it works, because it's what happened to me. So I wish you the best. I know that this will be a really good thing for you. Whether you choose to make this a career or not, that's up to you. But just know, don't jump right into it. Don't quit your job. It's not time, definitely. But understand that if you do continue going forward with this position, with this quest to do something more, eventually you're gonna hit that crossroads. You're gonna hit that fork in the road where you're gonna have to make a decision. Okay? And I don't see that happening anytime soon. Like I said, I'm seeing it within a year's time, year to year and a half. So in the meantime, have fun, explore, meet new people, make friends. Attend classes, read books, start diving in and living it. That's the only way it's going to happen. Okay? So with that, I will let you go. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. And for anyone who's watching, this is the One Question Tarot reading. It is available in my shop, so have a look. The link will be down below in the description box, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.